When you do not feel like you know what your purpose is, make sure you are making room in yourself and in your life for your purpose to come along. And when your life does not go in the same direction that you had envisioned it going, that's the time to get more curious about your creation. That's the time when you want to see it as perfect just as it is, even if no one else in your immediate circle is seeing it that way. You don't have to wait for some beautiful person or beautiful ET to come into your life to assist you with getting there. You just have to acknowledge that everything exists inside of you. And as you put your attention on your inner realm, you can feel for the potential that exists within you to be in a state of complete alignment with Source. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. Today is a beautiful day to read the beautiful words of higher dimensional beings. This is a channeling from the Arcturian Council. I hope you get a chance to go and listen to some of the amazing channelings we've covered so far. These are channeled by Daniel Scranton, who is a very unique channeler, and the more and more we read these, they carry incredible nuggets of information and very powerful energetic activations. Today we're focusing a lot on your spiritual evolution. This includes light workers, you're being readied for this, how to become a spiritual master, your tribe, your soul family, and becoming Source. Are you very awake? Going where no other human has gone before, the changes happening for Earth and humanity, the number of asleep souls serves you, and the homecoming is coming, including lots of other cool topics and channelings. The Arcturian Council is very much like Quo, but they have their own unique style. And it's really a joy to read these words. It's a lot of fun. Light workers, you are being readied for this. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are searching at times, just as you are, for something that will bring us into a higher vibrational state. It is true that they say, as above, so below. We do seek, we do wonder, we do have desires, and we do have that which is not fulfilled to experience. And all of this makes us very qualified to help you. Just because we don't have physical bodies doesn't mean that we cannot relate to all of you there in the physical and on planet Earth. We know what drives us can be different from what drives some of you because we don't have physical pleasure to pursue. But we also see how those pursuits are empty, and we notice that everyone involved in those pursuits eventually feels that emptiness, even if only temporarily. We notice that you all have a tendency to seek outside of yourselves to such an extent that you can become addicted to some aspect of the physical. And we do not have anything to get addicted to here in the non-physical. But we would say that what you experience more than anything else that is troubling to you on some level of your consciousness is a lack of a sense of purpose. We speak to so many who feel that way, and we so want to help all of you who feel that way to understand that sometimes your purpose hasn't shown up yet. When you are waiting for that inspiration, for that purpose to show up, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can release and resolve. There's a lot within you that you can clear to make space for that moment of inspiration, to make space for those energies that will fill you up before coming forth from you. So while working on yourself does not seem like a purpose and isn't very flashy, it still is part of the purpose that you have there on Earth. If everyone just hit the ground running from the moment they could run, it would be a much different environment that you'd be living in. Sometimes it is the boredom that sets in that gives some of you the impression that your life is not serving a purpose for you or anyone else. When you do not feel like you know what your purpose is, make sure you are making room in yourself and in your life for your purpose to come along. In other words, do that clearing work, release that which is no longer serving you and that which is not yours to begin with, and let yourself be your purpose for a while. The world you are living on right now is changing dramatically. There will be so many different jobs, careers, and businesses in the future, and some of you will create them. But this much we know is true. Those of you who do not feel that you have a purpose right now are being readied for your purpose. And when you cannot see the broader picture of that, it is hard for you to trust And it is hard for you to have patience. But there are the things you must have in order to eventually let in that inspired thought, that inspired idea, that impulse that takes you to it. We also know that you do tend to associate purpose with some sort of action or some sort of career. But that is not always the case. So many people there are holding space for others, holding a high vibration to balance the energies there. So many people are meditating, chanting, oming, and doing whatever they can to raise the level of consciousness. You need to let go of that idea that your purpose is always about an action that you take. And you also need to be aware of how much is inside of you still waiting to come out. Be aware of how much there is inside of you that can tap into right now. While you are demonstrating your trust and your patience in something that will be more of an outward expression of that universe that exists inside of each and every one of us. We invite you to relax more, to let go, and eventually let in that which will inspire you to be the person, the being, the love that you are always meant to be and that you are destined to be in this lifetime. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. How to become a spiritual master. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are completely satisfied with your progress there on Earth. And we not only the ones who hold this perspective, those of us who are seeing humanity in the most positive of lights come together and discuss your strengths, the ways you have overcome your challenges, your obstacles. We also discuss all the various ways there are still that we can be of service to you. We experience you as having led many successful campaigns there that have led you to very specific experiences, and we witness you growing spiritually every single time, whether you do or not. We hold that space for you, and we know that you can do this for each other as well. We know that you can see each other's lives as unfolding perfectly because you are spiritually awake, and you know that you are witnessing more than just a person. You are putting your attention on a soul, a consciousness that decided to have a particular type of experience, one that does not always match what you wanted for that person. Perhaps you witnessed a person growing up and you had all of these hopes and dreams for them, and then they went out and lived their own life, did their own thing, and it did not match at all what you had hoped that person's life to be. You have to let go of that and not only make peace with the person where they are in their lives, but also see all the potentials, all the possibilities that are now in front of them. And those potentials include enormous amounts of spiritual growth and evolution. You have the capacity to do this because we have the capacity to do it. And because you are linking up with us from time to time, some of you more than others, we know that you can find that same vibration within yourselves. It is a vibration that is of a higher frequency than just hoping for the best. And certainly it is of a higher frequency than trying to figure out how the person is going to get back on track that you had envisioned for them. And of course, this envisioning that you do also includes your own life experience. You tell yourself what you want to be when you grow up at a young age. And then when you get older, you have certain goals for yourself as a person who has a career, or as a parent, or as a person who simply helps others. And when your life does not go in the same direction that you had envisioned it going, that's the time to get more curious about your creation. That's the time when you want to see it as perfect, just as it is, even if no one else in your immediate circle is seeing it that way. You must understand that you are powerful creators and that you create on many different levels of your beingness. When something is not going according to plan, then you must recognize that there is a better plan, and you must resist the urge to get down on yourself from not making happen what you thought was the best case scenario for yourself. Trust that it is always a best case scenario that you are living. Make the most out of what you do have and what opportunities do come your way, and relax about all the rest. Relax and let go. Surrender and go with the flow. These are concepts that you hear about all the time. But when it comes to your own life, you often think that you need to work harder or try harder or visualize harder. But you do need to let go and trust and know that the better is always coming because you are creating it as an aspect of source energy. And you would never deny yourself one of your creations. Sometimes these creations don't come in the timing you would prefer. And that just means you need to relax even more, open up, accept, and focus on being the version of yourself you most want to be in those life circumstances. And that is the way to live a life of spiritual mastery. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Your tribe, your soul family, and becoming source. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are a collective within another collective, and so on and so on. We came together to become this particular collective because of the vibration that we were all offering as individuated consciousnesses, and we were drawn to each other. Our collective naturally formed. You are at a point in your spiritual evolution where you are simply going to find that you are harmonizing with, that you are attracted to other humans who offer similar vibration to the one you are offering. You're going to come together with those individuals who likely will have a similar perspective on life as well. And then you can act and talk to each other with those similar goals that you have in mind. You can co-create a better version of reality together for all of you and for the larger collective of which you are a part. When you realize that you have this power, this ability, you are also recognizing how you become source energy again. And of course, you never stopped being source energy, but you don't always operate with that full knowing of who you are. When you start thinking of yourself more as a collective, that's how you become closer to source and the source energy vibration, perspective, agenda, and so on. You want to see and feel and demonstrate how you are all connected there on Earth. This is why when you care about someone that you have never met and that you have nothing in common with, someone whose struggle is much different from yours, you feel yourself becoming more whole. You become a more complete version of yourself because you are in a reality, a collective already, but some people know this to be true and some people do not. When you base who you are interested in collaborating with on vibration, rather than on any other superficial aspect of who you are, you access more of the power that you all hold within you as individuals. When you come together naturally and organically, you can really feel the synergy that is created through the coming together of all the various parts. All of your fellow humans play their role in this powerful co-creative collaborative group that you form. But if you only come together with those who look like you, who went to the same school that you did, or who are members of your family of origin, then you are less likely to grow and expand into more of your true selves. You needn't come together with others just out of habit or out of a sense of obligation. But instead, you can allow the universe to bring you those who will resonate with you and give you more of that feeling of becoming your whole selves. Eventually, everyone will resonate with you and you will feel more empowered by coming together with every single human there on Earth. But you are simply not at that time yet, and that's okay. It's okay to realize that you're not in vibrational harmony with someone and offer that person love, compassion, maybe even forgiveness from afar. Allow yourselves to be with your tribe, with your soul family, and feel how much of your source you become as you see yourselves as a collective rather than as individuals who are each trying to get what you all need to survive. You are coming upon a time there on Earth where these types of collaborative collectives are going to be needed to advance the consciousness even further and to help spark that initiative to bring all of you together as one human collective, one family, one group of ascending beings, because that is truly who you are. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Are you very awake? Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are very awake in the knowing of who we really are as aspects of Source, and when you are in the presence of beings who know this, that knowing does rub off on each individual. That means it is better for you to put yourself in the company of those who hold that knowing to be a truth and not a belief. And that is why people have sought a guru or several gurus throughout the course of their lives. These transmissions are not just about giving you teachings, spiritual practices, or information. They're about giving you an attunement first and foremost. They're about being a reminder to all of you of who you really are as source energy beings who are pretending to be human beings. You are essentially having a human experience while also buying into the performance completely. You are method actors playing your roles as perfectly as you possibly can, and we are no longer performing. We are continuing to remember completely who and what we really are, and offering that energetic transmission to anyone and everyone who is also interested in having that experience. Now, not everyone is. Some people, whether they know it or not, are still playing with this idea of self as one who is just a simple human being, and people need to do that in order to have very specific experiences. So when you wonder why so and so hasn't awakened yet, and you think it is because you just haven't been able to get through to them, think again. That soul still wants to have that experience and has not awakened within the dream yet in order to give itself that particular human experience that can only be had in the asleep state. But you must be true to yourselves, and you must be true to your purpose there on earth. And because we know you are spiritually awake, we can tell you that one of your biggest missions there on earth is to just hold that knowing of who you really are, and then be in the presence of others who have yet to access that knowing within themselves for whatever reasons they have. Do not worry about them, because everyone will be all right. And everyone's soul has experiences planned for them that will awaken them. Once you've had certain experiences enough, and you have gotten everything that you needed from those experiences, then there's no point in continuing to have the experience. Let's give you an example. Let's say you were bullied as a child and it affected your self-esteem, your anxiety levels, and there is a lot of anger inside of you as a result of that bullying. Now, as an adult, you can still walk around in fear and anxiety about someone intimidating you or oppressing you in some way, but if you deal with your trauma from your youth, you will not create that experience for yourself again. Therefore, it is good for you to recognize that you are carrying around in terms of fear, anxiety, anger, and so on, and it is good for you to release them by allowing yourselves to feel those energies, those emotions moving through you. And you can forgive the others who bullied you, and then you can release the fear and anxiety that you will be picked on in some way again, and then you will not attract those souls to you who will agree to play the role of your adult bully, because you will not need them to do any more. And then you can start to make decisions about the types of people who do want to be around, and you can let their knowing of who they really are rub off on you and give you the attunements that you desire. We all want to hold that knowing of who we really are as much as possible, and we all can if we make the choices necessary to fully remember who we really are all the time, when the circumstances are perfect. And from where we sit, that's where you all are right now. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you, going where no other human has gone before. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are quite fascinated by humanity's ability to go beyond where others in human form on Earth have gone. We have seen it many times in your evolutionary history, and we notice that those who break the mold, so to speak, do so because they feel the itch within them. And we know that those of you who receive these messages have that itch. We know that you feel ready to move beyond where the rest of humanity is at this time, and we want you to recognize that itch. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It can feel like a calling. It can feel like a warm, loving sensation that is inviting you towards a particular endeavor. Perhaps you will feel inspired to say something to someone, and that will be your itch. Or perhaps you will feel that the leap of faith you need to take involves your work, your career, or starting a new business. And sometimes you will find that your calling has to do with something that is seemingly not that important, like whether you get up and dance or not at a wedding. You see, everything matters. Every moment is an opportunity to be more of who you are. And those of you who are seizing those moments are making the biggest difference there on Earth. Most importantly, however, you are giving yourselves an opportunity to be more of who you are as source energy beings. Oftentimes we hear you express the itch in a variety of ways, including the desire to be somewhere else. We know that other places in the galaxy feel more alluring to you than Mother Earth does at this time. And yes, life is easier in other parts of the galaxy and universe, but you didn't want the easy ride in this life. Not at first anyway. When you recognize that you have the ability to take something that seems like an insurmountable challenge and turn it into a fun, joyous experience, that's when you know you have attained mastery. When you take something that looks difficult and you turn it into something that is easy, that's when you know you have arisen above the level of consciousness that you once found so comfortable. We know that you are ready to make the quantum leaps that are possible for all of you. and we know that there has never been a better time than now to do so. We also trust that whatever it is that you are feeling called to do or say or be, that calling will get louder. It will take over, and you will feel that all you need to do is let go and let yourself be who you really are, without all the impediments that you placed around who you really are in this lifetime. You don't have to single each and every one of them out and pluck it away or destroy it. As you make a commitment to yourself to be who you really are, all blockages melt away. All obstacles suddenly become helpers. You change everything when you change one thing. And the one thing that is calling you right now is something that you cannot deny any longer within yourself. You have gotten to this point now where you must do what you must do. You must say what you must say, and you must become what you must become. You still have free will, of course, but we see you exercising that free will in the most positive way possible from this moment forward in this lifetime on planet Earth. We know it, we feel it, and we witness it every day with those on Earth who are ready to take that leap of faith and go beyond where any other human has gone before. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The changes happening for Earth and humanity. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are very impressed by the changes that you continue to make there on Earth, as we see you going further and deeper into an age of enlightenment. We know that it doesn't always look that way to those of you who are paying attention to what's going on outside of your little circle and yourself, but the changes are messy at first. There is an adjustment period that needs to be made. Sometimes you overcorrect, and there is even greater backlash to the overcorrection. But as a society, you are becoming more sensitive, and that's a good thing. This is a progress report for all of you, and it is one that every single human needs to receive. Those of you who receive it will anchor it in for the rest. The changes that are upon you right now are about being more inclusive, more integrative, and they are about giving more individuals a voice. Everyone needs to be represented in society, and everyone needs to not only feel heard, but also be heard. Because everyone needs to be willing to look at themselves and feel emotions that get triggered within them. You are making tremendous strides every time you allow someone from a group who traditionally doesn't have a voice to speak. People are very different there on planet Earth, and that is how it is supposed to be. Sameness causes less expansion, and Source wants expansion. Source created everyone to be as they are, and when people feel free to be who they are and express themselves as they are, Source is the beneficiary. It is good for all of you, no matter who you are and no matter what you believe, to be exposed to everything and everyone. You are not there to build an ivory tower and then hide away in it, even if you're going to meditate in that ivory tower. The difference between you and your beliefs and everyone else and theirs cause you to grow. Acceptance is the first step, and it is a very important step because everyone will get to that point where they go beyond acceptance, but they cannot leap from where they are to where they are ultimately headed. Therefore, accept everything in your life as it is, accept everyone on Earth as they are, and accept that you choose all of the challenges because you know they were the perfect ones to get you to align with Source, to get you to return home to Source, and ultimately to get you to become Source once again in every imaginable way. As we said, this is a positive progress report because we see you all inching closer in every day and in every move, closer to Source, closer to that home base, and you are taking your bodies with you. You do not have to die to go home anymore. You are there to bring heaven to earth, and that's what we see you all doing right now. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The number of asleep souls serves you. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are very pleased to see so many of you growing and expanding more consciously and deliberately because of your status as being awake. You all have been taking in so much more energy consciously as well because you are aware that energies are available to you. You've been anchoring in so much more from the human collective of which you are a part because you are more likely now to take the time to do so. There are times when you cannot help but open and anchor in higher frequency energies, and certainly those who are unaware of their presence are still acting as conduits from time to time. But the more time you set aside to do so, the better. Your lives get better and the people around you feel better around you. You see a different world reflected back to you because you're giving your attention to something that is truly happening all day, every day. You are being given more high-frequency energy to play with because you have shown an ability to handle it and use it for the purposes of adding something very wonderful to the collective of which you are a part. Now, those who are not receiving any of these high-frequency energies because they never get into a place of joy or relaxation, they are giving you more opportunities to anchor in those energies for them. So you get to experience more of the high-frequency energies running through you as a result of the fact that you are still surrounded by so many who do not understand that these energies exist and would not know what to do even if they did suddenly believe that higher frequency energies existed and were being given to them at all times. This is the best part of being a member of the awakened collective. You're not doing more than your fair share. You are getting more of what is wonderful and available to all. But again, not everyone will get into the state they need to get into to let those energies come to them and run through them. There is so much more coming, and the reason that we always remain positive about the direction you are all headed is because those of you who are awake continue to open up more and more to what is available to you and to everyone else. And as you anchor in more light and love, your lives get better and better. You will also be connecting to one another and connecting to higher vibrational ET beings, as well as those in the non-physical. This is a very powerful time for all of you to acknowledge yourselves and the work you are doing, but it is also a time for you to expect more, to believe that all the work that you have done will pay off for you, because it will, and it already is, and we can see so much more coming for all of humanity, and those of you who are awake get to experience it first because of how aware you are. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. This homecoming is coming. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are destined to experience that homecoming, that return to source that is inevitable for all beings in all times and all places throughout this universe. This is what Ascension is essentially about. It is about getting closer to home. You have the ability to bring yourself closer to source all day, every day. You do not have to wait for anything to happen that would make it easier for you to experience source as your true self, as an aspect of you that exists within your very beingness. In fact, for some humans, the path has been to go as far away from source as they possibly could with their consciousness, so that the snapping back would feel so much more exciting and life-affirming. To give oneself the experience of complete ecstasy, sometimes in some universes like ours, great pain and suffering is part of that journey. Everything that you feel consciously brings you to a place where you can feel everything, and that includes the heights of ecstasy. You don't have to wait for some beautiful person or beautiful ET to come into your life to assist you with getting there. You just have to acknowledge that everything exists inside of you, and as you put your attention on your inner realm, you can feel for the potential that exists within you to be in a state of complete alignment with Source. Nothing and no one is stopping you from that. We know that people talk about the bad ones out there who are trying to prevent ascension from occurring, but we wonder if those same people are going within to feel for what ascension is all about right now in their very bodies. All of that you can read about online is a distraction from what exists inside each and every one of us. The source energy portal is there within every being and every collective, and you can tap into it right now by focusing on the center of your heart and by focusing on your breathing. Sometimes there are blockages there. We know this, and many of you have felt those blockages as well, but the only way to get past those blockages is to go right through them. And you can do it with your focus, with your intention, with directing your consciousness to the very center of your heart. It's all there. Everything you could ever want and everything you could ever have that also exists outside of you, including every experience with every other being. Give yourselves the experience of ascension right now, and then you will be waiting for nothing. You will be in a timeless realm where everything is possible, where you are everything. There's so much more for you to tap into, and sometimes you just need the right nudging at the right time to go to the right place. And the right place right now for all of you is within. Go to the center of your heart, feel for the love that is there. Know that it is the true you, and see how much of it you can feel and expand out to all corners of this beautiful universe of ours. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Are you doing enough of this? Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are always very happy to encourage you to move towards that which is interesting and invigorating to you. We know there are lots of things on Earth that you have to do just to maintain your bodies, your vehicles, and your homes. And then there are the things that you truly want to do. There are the moments that you savor, the experiences that you crave more of, and we will always recommend that you make yourself available to as many of those as you possibly can. We know there is a great value in you having to face your chores, your obligations, and the things that you feel you need to do in order to maintain your health and well-being. But you need to make time for yourselves, for the things that you would do all day, every day if you could. You need to prioritize them because being in a higher vibrational state is necessary for those of you who have signed up to be light workers to be awake. You need to offer that higher vibration in order to ground in the energies that are coming in and in order to be of service to your fellow humans. We know that you sometimes find it difficult to make time for yourselves and for your true desires, but do not be afraid to ask those in your life to make room for you and for your needs to be met. You are not just there to be in service or to be a martyr. You are there to enjoy the journey of your ascension. And you know what you need to give yourselves in order to do that. You know that you are love, and that throughout the course of your life, you will at times be challenged to be the love that you truly are in spite of certain circumstances. You know that is a part of your experience, but you also know that you love things that you love for a reason. You love doing certain things because doing them is also a part of you becoming who you really are. You must allow yourselves to be you completely. Do not try to fit into anyone else's box, whether they are a family member, whether it is society as a whole, or whether it is a spiritual teacher who is telling you that you need to do this or that in order to be more spiritual. Many people are living lives right now that are not their own. They are living lives that are not the lives of their choosing, and that is more than just unfortunate. That is detrimental to the living fully that needs to happen for each individual in order for each individual to be themselves, to fit in the role that they agreed to play. You also need to know that sometimes your beliefs are what blocks you from doing what you really truly want to do, and those beliefs were by and large handed down to you by someone else. You did not create them. You took them on, and you sometimes need to test the validity of them by taking a leap of faith, by moving towards something that may seem like it is a pipe dream. Please allow yourselves the freedom to choose, because the living of your lives has gotten you to this point where you have developed clear preferences, clear desires. Follow through with them, and you'll be able to allow more love to flow through you, especially in those circumstances where you are being called upon to be the love in the face of that which is appearing to not be love. We know that some of you just needed this encouragement today, and we hope that you are going to take us up on our offer to support you in doing what you love. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. So there's a lot we can take from this group of channelings. The Arcturian Council has a thesis or with these channelings that revolve around our ongoing transition toward higher vibrational states and the eventual reunion with source consciousness. They describe a fascinating paradox in spiritual development. Those who feel purposeless are often being prepared for significant roles. The Council suggests that purpose isn't always about external action, but can manifest as holding space, maintaining high vibrations, or internal development. They emphasize that this preparation period, though sometimes uncomfortable, is essential for our growth. The Council presents a very interesting perspective on collective consciousness formation, describing how individuals naturally gravitate toward others of similar vibrational frequencies, much like birds of a feather flock together. And this process, they suggest, mirrors their own formation as a collective and serves as a microcosm for humanity's broader evolution toward unity consciousness. The discussion of awakened consciousness is particularly noteworthy. They propose that awakened individuals serve as conduits for higher frequencies, benefiting from others' spiritual sleep state by having more opportunities to anchor these energies. They create an elegant symbiosis where both awakened and unawakened souls serve the collective's evolution. The Council addresses the current state of Earth's development, acknowledging its messiness while maintaining an optimistic outlook, which we sadly need right now. They frame societal changes and conflicts as necessary adjustments in humanity's movement toward greater inclusivity and integration. Their perspective suggests that even apparent regression or conflict serves the ultimate purpose of expansion and growth. Throughout their messages, they emphasize the internal nature of ascension, suggesting that the experience of unity with source consciousness is available in any moment through conscious choice and internal focus. And they present this as a practical rather than a purely theoretical concept, encouraging direct experience through heart-centered awareness. The Council concludes with practical guidance about balancing earthly obligations with spiritual development, suggesting that pursuing joy and personal interest is not selfish, but rather essential for light workers to maintain their vibrational frequency and effectiveness in service. Their overall message weaves together metaphysical theory with practical application, presenting a vision of spiritual evolution that acknowledges both individual and collective aspects of consciousness development. The consistent thread through their communications is the inevitability of humanity's spiritual evolution, while emphasizing the importance of conscious participation in this process. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com, and welcome to The Reality Revolution.